Hello everyone, welcome back. So in today's presentation, I'll be discussing key insights from this week's readings and videos regarding effective teamwork, particularly in the virtual and diverse environment. And I'll also be exploring the characteristics of a true team player and differentiate between work groups and work teams based on a personal level. Fun fact, my group and I did our assignment, our group project on virtual teams. So I guess we'll be covering that in this week's assignments. So I'm going to focus on the article, Teams Are Changing, Are Research and Practice Evolving Fast Enough? So teams today are facing greater complexity due to remote work, globalization, and evolving structures, yet organizations and research often lag behind these changes. In virtual settings, team members need specific knowledge and skills, also traits such as self-discipline, communication abilities, and trustworthiness to collaborate effectively in different time zones. Especially if you're working virtually, it's a lot harder than if you are in person, because communication isn't always sent the right way. Sometimes words can get lost in translation. Additionally, Bantz in the 1993 article stresses the importance of understanding cultural norms and expectations to prevent miscommunication in diverse teams. At the same time, it reminds us that beyond tools and structures, successful teams that thrive on genuine human connections is emphasized, okay? So you have to have this emphasis of empathy and psychological safety and belonging to be able to thrive in such teams. For question 2 is, what qualities do you think are needed for a person to be considered a team player? So a true team player today must be beyond cooperation. They must determine, the ability or the communication. They have to adapt the ability of communication skills. And they have to also adapt accountability and have empathy. So according to Kruma 2022 article, virtual team members especially need self-managed and maintain clear, proactive communication. Emotional intelligence is equally vital in virtual teams, as teams often span different cultures and backgrounds, requiring sensitivity and respect for the diverse viewpoints. Also, it explains that authentic relationships built through trust and shared purposes are at the heart of the effective teamwork. So additionally to that, arguing that team members must be open to learning and willing to adapt, especially in the dynamic of tech-driven work environments and this tech-driven world we live in. These qualities together make someone more reliable, collaborative, and effective in a team. So it will definitely set that standard to improve in your team. For the third question is, in your own words, what is the difference between a work group and a work team? What have been your experiences when a team is really a group and vice versa? So, in my point of view, I believe a work group is a collection of individuals that share and shape one another depending on the tasks that they're given. Also, I've experienced both situations where once I was placed in a team where everyone worked, solo, even though we were working as a team, everyone was a little drifting apart. So the roles were, all over, and we rarely communicated. Nobody wanted to communicate with one another. We barely shared feedback, and I didn't enjoy that experience at all, as anyone wouldn't, especially if you're in a team, you're supposed to work, in a team. But on the other hand, I've been part of a team where we actively supported each other. Just recently in a group project, my team was amazing. We had a Google Meet, and we had a chat box, and we sent each other links. We shared documents together. We were given notes and feedback on all of our thoughts before we decided on what to choose for our project. And when we all agreed, we actually had a voting. And when we all voted on the same topic, we then, created the canvas and created the theme and the idea for the project, and we got to split it up accordingly. Everyone got the parts they wanted. We worked thoroughly. We practiced our presentation. We had we had out a script. Everyone had their own script, just to, to get a little bit more familiar with what they had to do. So there's definitely a difference, and it's really great when you work in a team that's they're all supportive and everyone's on the same page and communication is perfect, because that was the best team experience I've ever had in this group presentation project that we just handed in. And yeah, so it really does matter how the people within it collaborate. So I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.